been a close one, that. Oh, sorry, almost pressed the wrong button there, and smells a bit in here now. Welcome to episode 212 of the Pro Synth Network show. We're live, I tell you. It's the 26th of April. It's just gone 7 p.m. And welcome, everyone. Where am I? I'm supposed to be looking up there, aren't I? But I'm always focusing on this, and you don't see it. I'm sorry if I don't look you right in the eye. Anyway, welcome. It's another show. We're another week closer to Super Booth, and we weren't going to have a lot to talk about because it does seem that a lot of companies are sitting on things for obvious reasons. But there's been a leak, and not just here. There's been some news leaks. There's been some other bits and bobs, and our wonderful friend Tom at Synth Anatomy went to Synthfest France. And bless him, I asked him if I could use a couple of his videos to talk about some things that he saw there, and he was absolutely agreeable. So massive thank you to Tom at synthanatomy.com. Go and check his site out. He is a one-man band. He does all of that himself. So go and show him some love and support.
Yeah, spread the love.
Big stuff from him. So we've got some stuff coming up from him. We've got a special guest dropping in, hopefully in about half an hour or so. I'll leave that as a surprise. Because if I tell you now and you think, oh, it's only him, you'll go away. So I'm not going to tell you who it is.
Liberace.
Yeah.
It's Liberace.
He's a bit smelly, but we've got him. But yeah, there's been a few other things, and maybe there's a controversial topic or two. I don't know. We'll have a discussion. But yeah, we've got lots of good stuff to talk about between now and roughly 9 p.m. UK time, which is about 2 hours' time. So welcome to everyone. Hello, everyone in the chat. I'm just going through there. We've got our moderators. Mr. Andrew Brooks is there. Bless him. And I haven't seen the others, but I'm sure they'll be okay coming in soon. Otherwise, I shall dock them pay. Yeah. Let's see. So, before we do anything else, make sure you give us a like. If you want to comment as well, you can do. If you're doing it during the show, stick it in the chat, whether you're watching on YouTube or Twitch or Twitter or what's the other one? Oh, yes, Facebook. You can comment on all of those and we will see those. If you want to subscribe, that would be really helpful. That way you get a notification if you hit the bell of when we go live and when we do special things. And there will be some special things coming in the coming weeks, I hope. Fingers crossed. And, of course, if you know someone who would like this show but doesn't currently watch it, then please do share us around. We like being shared around, smutty comments aside. If you want to support us, of course, we would love you to do that because we are completely, self-funded. When I say self-funded, funded by our audience. It's all your fault, basically, that we're still here. So, there you go. Patreon.com/ProSynth Network is where you can subscribe for a minimum of $2 a month, which is about £1.60, I think. I don't know, something like that. And not only do you get the warm, fuzzy feeling of helping this channel remain on air for 212 consecutive live episodes, but also you get some free stuff. There's some patches in there, and there's going to be some more stuff. I was speaking to our lovely friend James Dyson the other day. He's preparing another pack for another synthesizer that we don't or haven't already covered in there. But there's things for JDXIs, there's Modwave stuff from the wonderful Mark Barnes, so stuff from James Dyson and other bits in there. So please, if you want to support us, that's probably the easiest way. You just sign up there, and it's a minimum $2. If you want to give us more, we're not going to stop you. And then that helps kind of keep us going. If you don't want to do that, if you don't like the whole subscription thing, that's absolutely fine. You can send us a super chat or a super sticker within this YouTube platform, and we get that. And if you're watching on catch up and you want to do that, then there's a big button underneath here that says thanks, and you click on that and it's the same sort of thing. So we are grateful for every single penny that we receive, and we thank you dearly for it. You can also follow us across social media, although we're not particularly active anywhere other than our Facebook group, and that's because we're all old men, and apparently I'm told by the kids these days that Facebook is for old people. So we're proud of that. But you can follow us
as well.
Indeed. You can find us on YouTube, Facebook, Twitch, Instagram, Threads, and the platform formerly known as Twitter, X. Still can't get used to saying that. Anyway, if you have a question during the show, if you want to raise a point of order, you can do so by beginning your statement, your question, with a big capital Q, and that just helps us old people with poor eyesight find your question and then put it to the panel. But there you go, and I think that is about it for now. I need to say thank you, first of all, to the guys, which we'll come to in just a moment, and also to the wonderful Dr. Mike Metley for last week's show, because I wasn't here. I was outside, but this time I was outside, sat in my little chair, freezing me dangly bits off, waiting to buy some records. And records I did buy, and I spent maybe a little bit too much money. But it's the annual treat. So we had a good time was had by all, and lots of good records were bought. And here I am back now, and I need to save the pennies for Super Booth, which is coming up in a few weeks' time. So let's bring in the gentleman first of all, that voice that you've been hearing in the background. We can't shut him up, but hopefully that voice sounds a lot better now because we bought him a cloud lifter. Give us a test.
Hello, mate. How are you? All right? Lovely.
Tell us in the chat if you can hear him and he sounds better. That would be good, because otherwise it's a lot of money badly spent.
Tell me. Go on, son. Is
How are
better?
you?
Is it? Oh, gosh, yes. Yeah. What do you think, Penguin of Death? He thinks, yeah. Look at that. Penguin of Death on a stick.
On a stick?
No expenses spared here.
I shan't ask where the stick is, but...
It's one of them.
Oh, I see.
It
Cool.
belongs to one of them.
I see.
Yeah. So there we go.
Even
How
his
are you?
bad-sounding voice sounds better, says Kosh Takai.
Oh, it's nice to hear that is. Yeah.
There you
Yeah.
go.
Yes, it makes such a difference.
It does.
Such a difference. Thank you, PSN.
No, yes, exactly. It's what we can do because these lovely people help us out, so we're able to furnish us with proper equipment.
Thank you, one and all, for
Yeah.
buying my cloud lifter.
Exactly.
I love you all, every one of you, including Mike Metley. Thank you for last week. It was
Yes, indeed.
really
Don't
good
give
to
him
have
too
you
much, otherwise he yeah.
Yeah,
If anybody's, did anybody else see Mike's NAMM interview with the wonderful Mark Vale?
Yes,
It's quite
I
an
did.
quite an interesting half an hour of Mike talking. I didn't do that.
No, I did.
Yeah.
All right, there we go.
That's okay. Did you catch it?
Yes, I did. He's fascinating. Mike knows so much.
Well, he knows about synthesizers. He also knows how to wipe out human civilization,
Yes, that's true.
which is something I think we should be aware of
When's he doing that?
all the time.
Is it by
All the time.
appointment?
Just by mere existence, he's a threat to the human race.
Mike, I'm on your side, mate. I'm on your side.
That's right. I've got to get these in because he'll get me back in Berlin in a few weeks' time. Anyway, good to see you and good to hear you. And I'm sure our audience are most appreciative of that too. Yes. And talking of people we love to hear from, Mr. Kent Spong, holding your glasses. Just no sudden movements.
No.
Oh.
No one would have believed in the early 19th century. Hang on.
Well, this is fun.
Oh, that was my mixer. I do beg your pardon.
There you go.
Yes. I've been
it's
in
not
here.
so- yeah.
I've been doing some recording.
Oh, with reverb.
Well, I was pretending to be a CS80.
Okay.
Yeah, so I just put on a lot of weight and then got very hot and sweaty.
Okay.
And
Show us your modulation bits.
pretty good representation, I thought.
Cool.
Yes, all good.
Good. Glad to hear it. Anything interesting happening at Spong Towers this week?
Well, when Siri isn't breaking my glasses again. Yeah, usual. Lots of working on things. You know,
Yeah.
setting fire to stuff and
Okay.
the usual.
Feel free to go into detail.
Oh no, you don't, oh, really?
Well, no, not if you don't want to.
No, it's just it'd be so dull and boring.
Okay.
You know, oh, I took this IC out and I put another one in.
Dear.
Woo. Yeah. So not much more than that. No, I've been doing some recording in it.
Cool.
And using bits of equipment I haven't used ever. Bits of equipment I didn't know I had. And bits of equipment I should have used by now and hadn't. And stuff like that. And it was quite quite an interesting day.
Which bits of equipment did you find at the back of the shed?
Well, you see what happened. I went hunting for the controllers for Cubase. Because of, like I said on the pub last night, about on the Mac version, it's slightly different from the PC version, and you can't find anything. And in looking for said things, I found, there was a Wurlitzer drum machine. I found. I forgot it was there.
Wurlitzer drum machine.
Yeah. It's a valve-driven mechanical disc drum machine. It's about
Did
the
I see
size
one of those? Did Spears have one of those?
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought so. I remember seeing that.
I want to hear that.
No, you don't.
No.
Really?
No. Yeah. No, you don't. It sounds a little bit like somebody fighting in a bath.
I definitely want to hear that.
It does. It makes strange noises that one wouldn't relate to drums in any shape or form.
Where's the soap?
Yeah, it does. Yeah.
Jolly good. Anyway, moving on.
Oh, the drum machine. Oh,
yeah. Okay, let's kick things off, but let's kick things off with some special news.
Oh.
And the special news is, let me just bring everybody on. There we go. We're all here now. This is the special news. Now, if you're a regular viewer of the show, you'll know that I bang on about Synthesized, which is this wonderful 2-day show, festival, exhibition, celebrating computers and synthesizers. And it happens at the Centre for Computing History, which is located in Cambridge, in the county of Cambridgeshire in England. And I've been going for a number of years, as you can see in the picture there. That's one of my Fairlights, which I think I might still have. Can't bloody say that. But yeah, we go along every year, and there's lots of good things there to see and do. And it's not just computer related stuff, it's like anything that's synthesizer related. There's the late John Malloy from Mainframe being interviewed by Jason there. Sadly, he passed away about 6 months after this. Lots of great gear on show and on display, lots of wonderful people to speak to, and this year it's happening again, and it's happening on the 29th and the 30th of June 2024. And the news is that ProSynth Network is supporting the show this year, or we're kind of co-advertising, we're just kind of trying things out. So it's kind of synthesized in association with ProSynth Network, which is really, really cool.
Whoa.
But what that means is that if you want to come along and you want to buy your ticket in advance, which we thoroughly recommend that you do, if you type in the code ProSynth at the checkout, all one word, PROSYNTH, ProSynth, you will get 15% off your ticket price.
Wow.
Just for being a ProSynth Network viewer stroke member. 15% off, which is very good. So you can buy a day ticket for 12 quid. So it's going to save you, £1.80 on that. You think I just did the maths right there and then in my head. I didn't. I've got it written down. But you could also buy family tickets. And the good thing about the Centre for Computing History is that on the day, it's not just all of the synthesizers that are on show, and they're on show across 2 or 3 rooms, but also everything else that the centre has. The museum is open, so you've got loads of vintage computers, vintage games consoles, and I'm talking vintage proper, like first ever computers, first ever games consoles, and they're pretty much all switched on and available for you to play, as well as all of these wonderful instruments. And we're going to be there this year under the banner of ProSynth Network with a guy called Peter James Stephen, who you might have seen in the chat every now and again. He's coming all the way from Cairn, down in Wiltshire, Is it? Yeah, it is in Wiltshire. He's coming up all the way with a whole bunch of EMU stuff because it's 40 years of the emulator too. So he's bringing his E2 and his E3 and his E4 and a whole rack of other bits and bobs. So we're just going to do like an EMU thing. I might pop along with the Emacs. I don't know whether I'll take anything else. I'm not sure we're going to have enough room with all the stuff he's
Would you
bringing.
like me to pop along with anything?
Well, you can pop along, but I think we're kind of covered equipment-wise.
Well,
I don't
you're
want
having an E1 if you come and collect it.
Well, if I get the E1, yeah, that'd be great. Actually, I might need to come and
bring an E4.
I might, yeah,
development one.
I've got a something that's going to be arriving here in the next few weeks that may require some Spong attention.
Oh,
I don't know yet, but we can maybe
you're torn your underpants again.
Yeah, done that. So Synthesized in Cambridge, 29th and 30th of June.
Wow.
It's 2 days. There's if you want to come down for the whole weekend, there's a premiere in like a 10-minute walk away, if that. So you can get in there fairly cheap. But the tickets are very reasonably priced, and you can bring the family, you can bring the wife and the kids, or the husband and the kids, or your partner and your kids, or whatever. And it's a lovely place, and it's loads of really fun things to do. And say if you use the code ProSynth, I'm sure it doesn't matter whether it's capitalized or not. Just the word PROSYNTH will get you 15% off your ticket price, and I believe that is 15% off if you book in advance. If you try that on the door, they might not be able to process that. So advance tickets only, unless you hear otherwise. So there you go. And all you need to do is go to computinghistory.org.uk and fill your boots, and hopefully we will see you there. So that's exciting that we're going to have a kind of a branded presence, and we're going to be at Machine Brastronica as well later this year, doing the same sort of thing because it's EMU, and there'll be a very special reason to come to Machine Brastronica, not just because of ProSynth Network. So there you go. Before we do the news, we've also just had our very special guest join us. And let's bring them into the show. Let me just do this now. It is the one and only. You saw him just a couple of weeks ago. He's back. He's back to give us news and an update. It's Kim Bjorn.
Yay!
How you doing? Oh, you're
not
muted.
B-Jam.
You're
it's
muted.
My glasses.
No. There he is.
Hi.
Hey. So, Kim,
professionals.
we had you on the show a couple of weeks ago to talk about the wonderful new publication that's coming out from Bukes, the Mini Moog book.
That's right.
Absolutely, loads of people loved it. Couldn't wait for it to happen. Now it's happening. The Kickstarter has gone live. Do you want to give us a little bit of an update on how well it's going?
I can do that, but first I have to say to you guys, thanks so much for having us on the show. We really appreciate it a lot, and the support we've had from all of you is amazing. So the status is that we already reached our funding goal, our initial funding goal. So
awesome.
That's super nice. We reached that within 3 hours.
Wow,
So
amazing, isn't it?
I had thought we
Taylor
would
Swift
maybe
must have
spend
been pissed.
24 hours or so waiting for
Yeah.
that.
Look at that.
Look at that.
So that's super nice.
Smashed it.
And
Absolutely smashed it.
And I had someone saying earlier they were happy they didn't get the number 666. So
Yeah, do you know, when I called the page up, it said 666 backers. And I think, oh, please move on.
yeah, it's kind of counting along nice and easy.
Yeah.
It's really been great with the support we've had. So all the super early birds are gone now,
Yep.
and but we have quite some early birds still. I'd say, what is it now? You have the page also.
556 left of 750.
Yeah, so that's quite a bit actually. But we think those will be gone in a week or so. But let's see how it goes. We have not had a lot of big press on this yet, but that's coming. And also some of the artists that participate in the book will start posting about it. I've never done so many graphics in Canva, that online program. We've been busy, and also I think we've been quite. I know that Mr. Medley has been also looking at the counter on the. We were all like, glued to the screen.
Yeah.
What was it, Tuesday night? So That was amazing, and people are really happy about it, and people have been emailing me, and yeah, that's great.
Yeah.
So we're off to a good start, but we're not done yet. We have.
I bet it's a relief, though, isn't it?
It is definitely, because now we know that definitely people want this book to come out. That's nice. The thing is that we have more stuff coming. Actually, I wasn't really sure if I should say it on this live cast, but I'm not sure still if I will. But we have something which I think people will love, and which is something extra for everyone participating in the Kickstarter. So for me, this is also, we really want to give back to the community. This is how I started with Push to Move, and it's just, you realize you're not in this alone. So that's really nice.
Yeah,
in several ways. And I think the feedback we got after the show was great, and
Excellent
so how do you
stuff.
think it's coming along? There's some graphics you can there's the infographic.
Yeah.
The graphics are looking really good. It really does. It sings. I just wanted to ask you a quick question. So we know you've broken through your initial target, but that's just the initial target to get the funding from, to get it all released by Kickstarter, and that's what's your how many more do you need to sell really to do the break even? Because this is taking you forever, and I sometimes people can just say, well, they've hit their target, I don't need to bother. They do. We want them to. So what how many people do you need to subscribe, do you think?
Oh, I really appreciate this question, Andrew. First, it's really hard to say, but you're so right. People think, oh, now they're funded, I can just lean back and wait for the book to come out in the fall. But yeah, we've been working on this for 2 years, and I've been selling quite some Eurorack modules in that time.
Wow.
But it's, my aim is actually we go at least double what we are now. That would be good. The thing is also, it really depends on how things evolve. There are things that also, what people don't see in the number that you have on the funding page on Kickstarter is that you also, the shipping is included in that number. So, and also the Kickstarter fees and the payment fees, you have to deduct that from that number. So you can, just deduct like 25% of what's there, at least, and then you have the number we get. And actually with this book, the photography, the licensing for the photos is one of the biggest expenses. It's as huge as the printing of the book. But also we have to, actually I'm sitting here with this box, which is the hard drive I got from the US, which Joe sent me with the photographer Brian Redding's photos of the Model A, Model B, Model C, the prototypes, and at least 18 Minimoogs from EMEA in Philadelphia. I had the low-res versions, but these are terabytes of data, so they had to send the hard drive. So I'm really looking forward to diving into this now.
Nice.
So that's a long answer for your question, Andrew. But thank you. But we I'd say I would like to see twice as much as what we have now. Is that how you put it? Or 3 times as much, something like that. But I'm happy about what we've reached so far, and really appreciate that people have been, that people trust us doing this. Yeah, so that's really great.
And if people want to see kind of what the book is going to look like, if they come to see you at the booth at Super Booth, you're going to have some like pre-production paperback copies to show.
Yeah, we do these soft cover copies where there will be spreads from the book printed, so everybody gets a chance to browse in those. And also we will have a Model D at the booth.
Nice.
And just also we'll have some special edition postcards of the prototypes. There will be also in the Moog music booth. They will have that as a little VIP thing, but people can collect those with our booth also. Yeah, because the Kickstarter runs all the way until Memorial Day in the US, past Bob Moog's 90th anniversary.
Right. Excellent. And also, if you buy a copy of the book through the Kickstarter campaign, you then also get the option to pad out your Bukes collection by maybe adding some missing titles at some really good prices as well.
Yeah, thanks for mentioning that, Robbie. Yeah, we have actually, I think it's €15 off the small book, and actually I think it's €30 off the big one from
Nice.
the MSRP prices. So
Well,
yeah, and quite a lot of people have taken advantage of that, and I think it's just a nice gesture we wanted to do to give people something. And also, what some people have pledged for already is to get your name in the book. You can actually be named in the book. And also, companies can sponsor this. I'm going to reach out to some of my friends in the business, and hopefully they'll see an advantage of being present in the book also. But it's all like, what do you say, small rivers coming together. That's how we say in Danish, at least.
Excellent
so,
stuff.
and we're actually going to launch again, because that's a new thing Kickstarter can do. You can launch new rewards during a campaign. So we have a few, at least one surprise, I hope, for everybody, and which I hope people will like.
I'm sure
and
they
we're
will.
posting more and more photos also, and some behind the scenes stuff in the Kickstarter.
So Kim, are you going to, at Super Booth, is one of the prizes that you're going to do a topless lap dance there for the winner? Is that right? You're going to take. No.
Yeah, that would be a prize.
I heard it was going to be Mike.
Yeah.
Are you going to do a topless? Mike's going to do a top. Oh,
no,
brilliant.
it's bottomless.
I think that would be maybe one of the clubs in Berlin.
Yeah.
Some of the darker areas.
I'll send you the address.
I've heard of those clubs.
Yeah, I don't think people will appreciate me doing anything but talking.
Well, you know.
Anyway,
so
but that's brilliant, though.
I'm looking forward to see you guys probably there, at least some of you, and also a lot of our readers there.
Yeah. Definitely. I'll come and see you. I'll avoid Metley, but I'll come and see you. And
yeah, that'll be hard, but I'll shove him away.
I know.
In some
we tried so hard last year, then he found us.
Yeah. He knows where the booth is.
Oh yes, yeah. Are you going to be in the same place as you were last year, up on the mezzanine?
Definitely, and we actually have some exciting artists. We have what's it called? The German guys, the US guy, Suko Live, I think is his name. But we're actually gonna have Hataken from the Tokyo Modular Fest in Japan.
Oh, wow.
He's gonna play. He's on a Europe tour right now. I was in Copenhagen last weekend, and he's coming to play at our booth also during.
Awesome.
So it's going to be fun.
Awesome. Cool. Brilliant stuff. Yeah. Well, look, congratulations. It's an amazing start. I hope, and I know it will continue. It will definitely continue, and I cannot wait until we've got that in our hands and we can read it all. And
neither can I.
Fantastic treat.
I appreciate all the help, and I look forward to see more people come in and get a unique version with a unique serial number. And that special cover also. Absolutely, yeah, indeed. Because that's not going to be for sale ever again. It's something I've really decided on. It's not going to be available anywhere else than this Kickstarter. Brilliant stuff. Brilliant. But thanks for having me, guys. And I'll join the show from the chat from now on. Fantastic. Well, brilliant. And congratulations again to you and to everyone at Bukes. Thank you so much. Come on again soon, and we'll update people a little bit further down the line. Brilliant. Thanks so much. Hopefully, hopefully Robbie will see you and catch you on camera at Super Booth. Yeah, we'll try and do something. Yeah, we'll definitely try and do something. Okay, take care, Kim. See you soon. Bye bye. Thank you, Kim Bjorn, everyone. What a legend! What a legend! Fantastic. No, really great news. And the link is in the chat. If you haven't already gone there, please do. If you haven't already, click on that. As Kim said, I think let's bring this back in. So the super early birds have all gone because that was at €37 plus shipping. So now is the regular early bird, which is €47 plus shipping. So there's a good 556 of those left. And do you know what? This is what this kind of warms the cockles a little bit. There is an option for just the regular Kickstarter special, and you can opt to actually pay more. And so far, a bunch of people are opting to pay more just simply because they want to support the venture, which I think is fantastic. Really cool. Yeah, that's really cool. But it won't be long before the regular early birds will have gone, and that will be your only option is to get it through that. But fantastic. It's brilliant that they've met their target already. But as Kim said, every little helps. And I think Mike, it said in the chat, 300% funded would be a really sweet figure to get to. So whilst we've been on air, there's been at least 2 or 3
people
Yeah.
buy. So let's keep that rate going, and then they should be sorted. Fantastic stuff. There we go. That's a great way to kind of kick off the show with some really good news. Let's also just have some other good news from Andrew Brooks, our moderator, who is also a member, which means he has to pay, but he's paid even more because he's a fool, but we love him.
Yeah.
So thank you, Mr. Brooks. That's
Thank
wonderful.
you, Andy.
So let's see. Where should we do? Oh, I don't know. Where should we go first? We've done synthesized, haven't we? Oh, one thing I forgot to mention about synthesized is that there is also an extra event that's going on the evening of the Saturday. So you have to pay extra for this, and I don't believe the discount code works for this. But it'll be worth hanging around for. Mark Jenkins is going to be doing his live event, which is celebrating 50 years of Kraftwerk. So he'll be doing it. Mark's got a huge collection of gear. He certainly knows his onions. And he will be doing a live synthesizer performance. Doors open at 7, event starts at 8. Tickets are £15 for this event. And that's on top of the entry to the event. It's to the actual synthesizer event as it stands on its own. So yeah, if you want to stick around afterwards and be entertained musically by Mark Jenkins, there you go. Forgot to mention that. So yeah, Mark Jenkins, Kraftwerk 50 starts at 8 o'clock on the evening of the 29th of June, right in the middle of Synthesized. So there we go.
Had to remind me I still have the vocoder to fix, didn't you?
Oh, sorry. Do you still have the vocoder to fix?
It's there.
Oh, it's there.
Yeah.
It's not far enough to Autobahn.
No, it's far from being happy about being an Autobahn.
Oh, I see what you did there. That deserves that.
Yeah, thank
Very
you.
good.
Yeah, thank you.
He's here
I'm here
all
all
week.
week. Mwaha.
Try the fish.
Yeah.
Yeah, excellent stuff. Right, so that's that. Let's see. What should we do first?
Dance.
I'm going to leave that one a little bit. Well, let's talk about this one first. This was interesting.
Go on.
I know people have got some comments about this. So a leak happened, Mrs. Just the other day, and it's the Oberheim TO5, TEO being the initials of Thomas Oberheim. It's the TO5, which, as my colleague at Gear News points out, is very much like a sequential Take 5. And it just seems to me like somebody somewhere at Sequential said, I know what we'll do. We've got a platform we can use. Give it an Oberheim paint job. Maybe change a few things around. But this is kind of looks like that, doesn't it? So we don't have all the details. But it appears to have 2 oscillators per voice with triangle saw and variable pulse wave, as well as oscillator sync and cross modulation. It seems to have sub-oscillator and noise. The filter is the classic SEM style state variable with a continuously variable characteristic from low pass to notch to high pass, and a band pass mode is also available. Everything else, including
said that. I noticed.
Yeah, the preset system displaying arpeggiated sequencer and effects seem very similar, if not identical, to the Take 5. I guess if you've got something you can use and you need to put something out, then this is a very affordable way of doing it. Apparently the leak says this is going to cost in the region of €1,700. I don't know whether that's an MSRP or whether that's a street price or whether that's just rubbish because, as I said, this is a leak. I expect that Oberheim will confirm maybe around Superbooth 24. But any thoughts on this one? Is this sequential, just flogging a dead horse and just shoehorning something in with the Oberheim name on, or do we think this is going to be like an OB5 or some description? I don't know. This doesn't appeal to me for some reason.
Well, one thing you've got to remember, historically, this is, if I gave you the parts list of a Prophet 5 Rev 3 and a parts list of a OB8, you wouldn't be able to tell which keyboard was which. So it's not the first time that Prophet and Oberheim have actually literally become one thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, it does smack of some sort of like, oh, I don't know, just do that and put it in a case, it'll be fine. But it might not be the case at all. In terms of exciting my Nurglers, no. No.
Your
My
what?
Nurglers are not excited. I fear.
Dare I ask what they are?
Nurglers?
Yeah.
You'll have to familiarise yourself with Spike Milligan a little more, I think.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So I thought it was a medical condition.
It can be.
Yeah.
Can be.
I mean, I played the Take 5. Every time I say that, I get Dave Brubeck in my head. Yeah.
I used to be able to play that
Yeah.
when I was a keyboardist.
I had a play of it. Actually, I think was it at Super Booth last year, and then again at Gearfest, and was distinctly unimpressed. I was expecting something more, and it didn't. It was just like I don't know.
So it wasn't a Prophet 5, which is kind of what you expect, or did it sound like a Prophet 5, or was it a completely new?
No, it's yeah, I don't know really. I don't know what it was trying to be. It just didn't appeal, you know. I don't know whether it was its size. I'm not a massive fan of small keyboards. I don't know whether it's its sound. I didn't like the. I certainly didn't like the pale end cheeks. It looked a little bit anemic. But no, I mean, I noodled around with it, and Ben liked it. Ben loved it, if I recall, because the Oberheim and Sequential had a nice big room. We were just like, and he was on that for quite a while, but it just didn't tickle my fancy.
Here's the thing, though. I mean, you know, I get that it's small and it looks like it's been shoehorned in, and clearly, it's not a bit like it's an absolute identikit of the Take 5. You know, there'll be some slightly different voice boards in there, or voicings or whatever connections. But here's the thing: if even, you know, I don't know, maybe a year ago, 2 years ago, someone said to you, you can have an Oberheim 5-voice Oberheim, proper analog Oberheim 5, you know, would you buy it? And it will live or die on whether or not it sounds like an Oberheim. And if it does, it's a steal.
Oh, there's no doubt this will sound Oberheimy. They wouldn't
So
dare,
it's
would
still-
they? Yeah. No, yeah, no, I get your point. Yeah, it's a good way to get that sound in a compact form. And it's covered in controls. It looks like, you know, it doesn't seem very menu divey. It seems very intuitive and simple to use, I would have thought. Like you say, absolutely, you can get the Oberheim sound for €1,700 or £1,500 or whatever it might be. I could also get that sound with a genuine Oberheim plugin.
Yeah, are they?
You know.
Is that a full-sized keyboard?
They're full-size
just
keys,
short-
but
full-size
37 keys. Yeah, 37 keys.
Aftertouch.
George, you know, I don't remember if the. I don't remember if the Take 5 had
Here's
it.
the thing: we don't know, do we? Because it's a.
No.
It's,
And
a
it's
rumour.
it's 5
a
voice, you say.
Yeah. Oh, well, we assume so. Yes.
Yeah, well, you see, I have an issue with having a polyphonic synthesizer attached to a monophonic-sized keyboard.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
I think that's also a subconscious thing with me, is that do you know, after having an 88 controller here for a while, going to a 61 feels like something's been cut off, you know. So
I mean, it depends on how it's used. I mean, if it's up on the
exactly.
top tier while the guy's messing with the groupings or the drums or whatever, and boom, 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 then fine.
It looks a bit like the OB1 when it came out, with, you know, more buttons and more knobs. But it looks like an OB1. Now imagine an OB1 that was poly. You'd have gone, oh yes, please.
Yeah.
So, you know, I get it's not going to be for everyone, but if it sounds good, depends what they price it at. But if it sounds good,
Yeah, well, if the money bracket's roughly the same, I'd rather have a Pro 3 personally.
yeah.
Well, I've got
that's-
a strong feeling in my water that
Aye.
we'll see this in a few weeks. I reckon and we'll have the official announcement, and we'll
sounds
take
like.
another look at it. And yeah, we'll hopefully get to to hear it and make some proper judgments on it. But still, another Oberheim synth. Again, to use your thing, Andrew, that says, would you have thought that you would have owned or one of these? Who would have thought we'd have had 2 brand new Oberheim synthesizers in the past few years? Just a few years ago,
Yeah.
So now we've got 2 brand new Oberheims that you can go out and buy, and they sound like proper Oberheims. They are proper Oberheims. So. Good stuff to them. Good luck to them. And
I do have one other observation there, because we're going to be covering this a bit later, no doubt. There is a certain other company that is not always in favour on this show, who has done an 8-voice that is somewhat cheaper than this. And given you could have this 5 voices or that, which is 8 or 16 voices, 8 voices. I can't remember.
If you're talking about the UBXA, it's 16.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Where's why?
So I'd rather give my money to Tom Oberheim.
Well, that's true.
You don't need
Pure and
it.
simple.
You and I would both do that, but there's going to be an awful lot of people.
Absolutely.
Get 16 voices,
Absolutely.
as opposed to.
So, and that's the beauty of late stage capitalism, is that everyone's got a choice. Might not be the right one, but
it'll
everyone's
fill
got
a
choice.
niche somewhere.
Yeah, exactly.
Somewhere.
Exactly. Anyway, keep an eye on that one. That's a breaking story the last couple of days.
Could we get one
Oberheim
into
TO5.
check?
I don't know. I've tried to get review units from Sequential before, and they are incredibly US centric in the way they do this stuff. So they said that we could have one if we paid what they call artist rates, so basically wholesale, and then we'd have to pay for the shipping, and of course we'd have to pay for the duties as well. Yeah, and I said that's fine. It's not something we can afford to do, but I get why you're doing that, because even though that name Sequential and that name Oberheim have been around for decades, it's a very small company with very few people, and they're probably not making a vast amount of money. So I'm not going to beg them to send me £4,000 or £5,000 synthesizers just for me to sort of play with for a couple of weeks.
Good shout. Yeah.
However, they are very well represented by Focus. Is it Focusrite? Yeah. Is it Focusrite that owns Sequential and of course now Oberheim?
Yeah.
And they go all around. Certainly here in the UK, they'll be at all the shows. They're always there, so it's always it's always a good opportunity to get hands on with these things. So it's not like they're underrepresented, but so get along to Gearfest in July, get along to Superbooth in May, get along to Synthfest in October, Bristronica in October as well, and I'm sure that there'll be all of those, and you can have a play and make your own minds up, and not 3 old men waving their fists at the sky.
Old? Excuse
well,
me. Ancient.
Yeah. All right. Your words, not mine.
No, I am, mate.
So that's that. Also, let's see what we've got here. Oh, yeah, the other sort of new hardware news was a certain little black box arrived in its Mark II version.
This is Digitakt 2, the next chapter in the story of this little box of magic. A familiar shape and the same recognizable playfulness, but offering so much more than before. It's a whole different beast under the hood, with many times the power and sonic possibilities of its predecessor. The original Takt fulfilled its potential to the brim and beyond. So what's beyond the brim, you ask? A whole lot is the answer.
This is the news. I'm going to stop it there because it's a 10-minute video. We just haven't got the time. This is the news that Electron have released Digitakt 2 to much applause and revelry. I'm just trying to find the web page. Now, here it is. So let's bring this up on screen. Digitakt 2 now features lots of extra new bits and bobs. It's a 16-track drum computer and stereo sampler, which I believe wasn't a thing with the first one. It's got... what else has it got added to it? A whole bunch of stuff. I know I've just completely... It's all gone out of my head. But it's a really cool kind of box that you can have at the center of something. You know, Jim Glue is in the chat. Uses pretty much exclusively Electron gear, or has done up until he, went and did the whole modular thing. There's just a lot more room to do a lot more stuff in that kind of classic Electron way. I'm probably not the best person to talk about this, because I've only ever played with these at shows. I've never really got into it. You obviously need to spend some time with this. Lots of connectivity at the back. And they have a very loyal and avid following of people who swear by them. This is, though, considerably more expensive than the previous one. It's going to sell for about 900 quid, as it says here. It's currently out of stock. I reckon you could probably get that a little cheaper from retailers. But they're really cool boxes, really cool design, and there's a number of these units within their range. So you've got all these different audio machines: one shot, warp, stretch, repitch, and grid. You've got different filter machines, 16 stereo or mono audio tracks or MIDI tracks, all sorts of 400 megabytes of sample memory, 20 gig of sample of drive storage. Comes with its own diverse sample library. It can be the center of a really cool system. So 128 steps per pattern and track, individual pattern length per track. And it's even got a Euclidean sequence generator. Yeah, whatever that
track.
Is. Per track, yeah. Cool little device. Certainly not something that would interest me deeply, but I can see where it does. And say, I've heard Jim wax lyrical about it, so it's a fairly fine thing. Thoughts on this, gentlemen? I don't imagine your target market material, but this looks like a cool update to the original.
Yeah, I only hear good things about these units, but as you say, I'm not a member of the kitten tickling family, and because I don't do the little box. It doesn't mean to say there's anything wrong with that format at all. In fact, it's a very good format. I mean, watching other people do it, it's like, it's great to watch other people do it. It just doesn't fall into my purview.
Yeah. No, I mean, I've heard people's material with this. It sounds great. It really does.
Yeah, absolutely.
What do you reckon, Andrew?
I remember not so long ago, there was the sampler is dead sort of thing. Sampler is dead. Long live the sampler. And now you can't move for samplers in different form factors and much more accessible and doing all sorts of things. A lot of them you could do before, but not in the same way. So there's so many of these things out there. And I think Kent's hit on something here, which is the form factor is really interesting. It reminds me very much of the kind of the form factor for gaming console, gaming controllers. When I see other people using them, I see their thumbs flying around and pressing buttons and combinations. I'm looking at it going, wow, that's good. I pick them up, I can barely hold the thing without dropping it, This is a bit like that for me. I mean, look, I've got these. I'm used to working with these. It's great, but I'm kind of, there's so many different samplers out there. I'm trying to work out why I would choose this as opposed to any of the other probably 15 or 20 that are out there doing something similar. I'm trying to work out what's different.
Well, I guess it's like with any of these things is, does that unit's paradigm, does its workflow fit with what goes on up here? And everyone's different. Everyone's wired differently. So some people will just, clearly somebody like Jim, gets Electron workflow and it works for him. whereas others, wouldn't, and maybe they use, something else. There's as you say, there's lots of different options. This is becoming a fairly crowded marketplace. This kind of groove box that does everything kind of thing. Polyend do stuff, and if you're into tracker style things, well then that's your bag, and maybe not this. I've got something that I'm just going to sort of pop up onto the camera here. This we'll be talking about this soon. This is a similar sorts of thing. It's it's a sampler. This is focuses on more lo-fi stuff, but it's a sampler sequencer. You can put your own sounds in. It's got effects. It's all and yes, it's not as expensive and probably not as complex. But if that floats your boat, there is lots of stuff. It's a crowded marketplace, but that's the beauty of it. You can find something that works for you. So
yeah, I'm just wondering what it is about this as opposed to any of the others that's particularly special. Because there are, there's even the God save me from saying it. There's the synclavier,
we don't talk about that here.
We do. It's a good thing. So all of these things are good things, and doing some really complex convolution and processing and warping and smurging and granular and whatever, with multi-tracks and things. I just don't know. I'd have to sit down with this to work out why. But it looks. I mean, all the comments and all the reviews seem to rate it hugely, and I can see why it would be popular. I just don't know that it does anything that I don't already have covered.
One thing I have noticed is that people who have Electron gear don't tend to just have one piece. There's clearly strong DNA that runs between all of the units they have, and if you get one, then the others will, and if you gel with it, then the others really do kind of.
So if you buy one second hand, do you have to use UV light just to check? You
never know.
You
never know.
DNA.
So yeah, it's a good thing, and actually, $899. I mean, I know that is it's a bit of a hike from the previous one,
but
and
not
funny enough,
the 400 megs of sampling and,
it's a lot,
and
yes,
20 gig.
You're getting a lot for your money.
You are.
Yeah.
16. Is it 16 tracks?
Yeah,
mix of MIDI and or samples. So
yeah. It's good. And Electron make really good stuff anyway, so they've got a reputation. So that's very good. Although I did see one certain YouTuber was mightily upset yesterday because they didn't get sent one.
Oh really? Get over yourself, too.
But anyway, James says they're 849 at Rubber Dub. Wherever Rubber Dub is, I think is that the one in Scotland? Rubber Dub. I can't remember now.
849 for a 16-channel sampler.
Yeah, that you can take around. Yeah, very good.
Oh, it's portable.
I think it's portable. I don't know if it. Well, I say it's portable. It's not like a bloody hulking great thing. I don't know. Jim, are they battery powered?
Yeah, you need the special trousers.
Yeah.
The special trousers.
Miscellaneous hardware. No, it just says power supply. There, so no battery power. Oh, it'll run off a power bank. There you go.
Yeah.
So
you go.
Yeah, but when I say portable, it's
take
small.
A generator with you. Take a big Honda generator with you.
Yeah. So there you go.
On a sled.
3-year warranty as well. Look at that. You don't see that very often.
No.
What do you think? That's in Glasgow.
Yes. Yeah. That's what I thought. Yeah.
Glasgow is pronounced.
I have to say I am quite intrigued now because I kind of understood most of the others. I just don't understand this one yet, so I'm going to have a much deeper delve into it. Jim, we might have to have a chat, matey.
Andy Synth Addict, one of our other moderators, says it's also a synth with the stored single cycle waves you can combine and layer. So that's interesting.
What, like these?
Yeah.
There you go.
Excellent stuff. Kissing the Machine, thank you so much. Some more beer talk. Oh, I'm going to get so hammered. Thank you very much indeed for that. Next time I see you in Sainsbury's, I'll shake you by the hand. And Dr. Mike Metley, many thanks to PSN for all the support of Bukes, both the folks running the show and the great listeners. We love you all. Thank you very much indeed, Mike. And of course, again, thank you for stepping into the breach last week.
Yeah, thank you.
Excellent stuff. Cool. Right. Well, there you go. Electron Digitakt 2 is available now. I say available. According to their website, they're out of stock. But I'm sure that you can pick them up somewhere or stick it on a pre-order. They should have those to you soon. Right. What shall we do now? This is just a little one, as my wife said to me. This is just the news that the Phantom EX upgrade, which was an upgrade for the original Phantoms, is now available in Phantoms out of the box. So and it's badged as a Phantom EX. So if you're looking to buy a Phantom, you can either maybe buy a second-hand one and update the firmware, or you can just buy this one straight out of the box. Nothing really more to say about that, because we covered all of this back when the EX upgrade came. But of course, this gives you, I believe, is it a JX3P in the box? There's an SH101 model coming, if it hasn't already arrived, and there's the promise of all the others, all coming via the cloud, the Roland Cloud.
JD800, Jupiter Array, all of them.
All of that stuff. And then it's got that that other synth engine in there whose name escapes me, and I'm just scrolling down until it pops in. Does it begin with an N or something? Like Enzyme, there you go. The Enzyme model expansion.
Enzyme,
Enzyme.
Begins with an N.
Who was it? Might have been Mr. Hilton, because Mr. Hilton's a Phantom person.
Oh yes.
Was it Mr. Hilton that said that Enzyme was actually really rather good? I've never played with it. But if Mr. Hilton says something is good, it generally is. Because if it isn't, he'll tell you.
Here's another thing, and you're going to look at me all sort of weird and cross-eyed with this, but
do anyway.
I could see myself getting a Phantom 61 or 76 or something. I could see myself getting one of those to complement this, because they're two different ways of doing things. But the keyboard action on this, yeah.
So there you go. The Phantom EX upgrade is now standard in the Phantom EX range. It's there available right now. So there you go.
Right now.
Indeed. Right. Let's have a quick look through what else we've done. We can get rid of Digitakt because we've done that. Oh, there's another new thing. This was interesting. This is Rhodes, the Rhodes Markate Earth Edition. Actually, we've got a video. We've got a video for this. Here you go. So I'm hoping we don't get a copyright strike for that, because the only reason I let that play all the way through is I really liked the music. Thought that was very nice. All of that was Rhodes, which is very clever, because obviously it has the all the stuff built in, all that wonderful effects processing. This is the Rhodes Markate Earth Edition. They're making 50 of these in this special kind of stuff. I mean, nothing says save the planet by building instruments out of wood, I suppose. But for every one of these they'll plant 25 trees or something, or they'll plant some trees. And there's only 50 available. They want to plant 25,000 trees through the sale of this. Now you can buy this now. The update I got before we came on air was that it has surpassed its halfway mark. They've got less than half of the 50 left, so there are people buying this, surprisingly, because it's a cool 9,995 pounds. That excludes taxes and shipping, so you'll need to factor in all of that. Although it says includes free shipping to the UK, US, Canada, and Europe. Starts shipping in January of 2025. It's a lot of money, but we had Dan from Rhodes on. We know what this is. This is a handcrafted, hand-built, beautiful instrument, and it's the very definition of an instrument, and it does sound amazing. It really does. And if you're environmentally conscious, and this makes you feel better by spending 10 grand on an instrument and then having some trees planted for you, then I guess this is for you. Either way, I don't have 10 grand to spend on the Rhodes, as much as I would love to, but there you go. So this is for you. I don't know, guys. What do you think of this? What do you think of the concept of the Earth Rhodes edition, or the Rhodes Earth edition?
Shall I?
Go on.
I really like this the Rhodes, the new Rhodes. I really like the Rhodes 8. I love it. And I like the look of this thing a lot. It does make me wonder why all Rhodes aren't made this way if they're really serious about it. I don't know what they're like as a manufacturer. You've had Dan on. I've not seen him or spoken to him. Are they a small company, a large company now? What are
very
they?
small, very small,
very small. So that's why it's £10,000. It does feel a little like it's tapping. It's a bit of a marketing thing. However, if they're planting trees and it looks this cool, and you've got 10,000 quid, they're doing something. They're doing something. And it does sound amazingly lovely.
I mean, I think apart from the tines and the electronic circuitry, all of their Rhodes, and or you can order a different color top, and sometimes they can be they're plastic, aren't they? But the bulk of one of these things is wood anyway, because the key bed is made by the company that makes the key beds for Steinway pianos. It's proper stuff.
That's
when
why
Dan
they play so well.
Yeah, I mean, this is not is it the Mark II that's the real dog of this range, the early Mark IIs.
Yeah,
Mr.
Yes.
Spong. Yeah,
Yes, with its high density polystyrene.
Polystyrene.
Yes.
Yeah. So these are incredibly well made, and if you've ever seen any of the videos that Rhodes have put out about their process, it's great, and it's handmade in Leeds, and
Where?
it's Leeds.
buy them. Buy them. Buy it now.
And they source apart from the keys that are sourced from this company in Germany, they try and source everything within a very close radius of Leeds. It's if you want to buy British,
I have to say,
buy British-made old American electronic
I love
keyboard.
the look of this one. I really like the look of this one.
Yes.
It's good colour tones, good muted.
Oh, badum tish! I think we need to give an award to Simon here.
Oh,
I'll be pining for one of these. Well done, yeah.
Oh.
There you go. Yeah. Aaron says in the chat, 10 grand for a Rhodes. That's what you pay for a handmade, handcrafted instrument. If you want
with a Steinway Grand keyboard.
Yeah,
Thank
we
you
had this
very
discussion, when Dan launched or relaunched Rhodes, and when you see, this is a handcrafted, hand-built, precision instrument. It's a beautiful, beautiful thing. Oh, I think Dr. Synth Manny is challenging for the pun this week.
Oh God, no! Here we go.
Stop now, everyone. It's
I have to say I'm okay with it.
Indeed. Anyway, so yeah, if you feel that way inclined, you can buy one of those now, or you can reserve it for £9,995. And they do a 50% now, 50% on delivery scheme as well. So if you want to do that,
so you can collect the life insurance on your wives serially.
Indeed. Rhodesmusic.com. Oh, hang on.
What?
If he was here, I'd smack him around the head.
That's
terrible.
No, that's terrible.
Really bad. Oh, hang on, there's more.
Oh. Just hit the roads, will you? Just hit the roads, Jack.
Hit the roads, Jack.
Yeah.
Anyway, so rhodesmusic.com. Thanks to our moderators for putting the links up in the chat.
And we announced that just in time.
Oh God. Yeah. Right. Let's talk about something. Let's talk about some new stuff. Now, I played with this. I'm sure I played with this at Superbooth, but this is something that is coming up for shipping very soon, I believe. This is the first look at the production unit of Fred's Lab Manatee. So let me just throw this up on the screen. It's a lovely sounding thing, as I recall, but it now has MPE, so that's going to please some people. It has 4-part multi-timbrality and 16 voices, which is an update on what it was before.
It was 10, wasn't it, before? 10 voices, I think.
Something like that, yeah. And it's now available for pre-order. So that's very cool. And the price is pretty reasonable.
Gosh.
€650. Well, actually, it's going to be 800 euros now. They've had to put the price up a bit, but you are getting more than what they said. And actually, as I mentioned at the top of the show, our very good friend at Synth Anatomy, Tom, went to Synthfest France, which I must get to because I could probably drive to that one one year. So this is just a quick snippet of the video that he took at Synthfest France just the other day.
Synthfest France 24. I'm here on the booth of Fred's Lab with,
hi everybody.
with Fred. How are you?
There's Fred.
I'm fine actually, and I'm very happy to be there because there's a big event, a lot of people coming, very interested in the machine, very interested in trying new things, and I'm happy I can show off my new Manatee, which has taken some time to develop.
I'm long time not see, and I remember you had this project Manatee since 2 years in the making, I think.
Well, actually 3 years.
3 years?
Yeah.
Is it already 3 years? You had this prototype on Superbooth.
No, this is 2 years,
Yes,
but
yeah.
in the making 3 years, yeah. So a lot of things have changed since the last version I showcased, because the last version was like in this quadratic box, and now it has a new design, also thanks to Tom, because the feedback I got was like, I could not really release the Manatee in the previous form, and this is very good because I took a lot of time to work on the user interface. So what you can see now is like you have your 4 parts always accessible there, a separate section for the meta envelopes, the 2 oscillators, you will find it over here. Here you have like the multimode filter, and at the top you have the mixing section, because the Manatee has actually 2 buses. So if you want to make like separate mixes for your parts and route some parts on the second buses, you can do, but you can always use like the 4 separate outputs to output the part sound separately.
Right, let's have a listen to it. skip through, see if we can find. Oh, sounds like a manatee.
This already sounds really interesting.
Yeah. There you go.
This is JMJ territory, isn't it?
It's very nice, isn't it?
Yeah.
But we'll pause that there. Bring us back in. I think this is a great little thing, and certainly for the price, even though it's gone up a little bit. Tom, actually, who was there, who did the video that we saw there, please go and give him a like and a subscribe, and go and check out synthanatomy.com. Tom says if you go via the website, you get a good discount. And I like that word. It's one of my favourite words in the English language.
Like that.
But yeah, I really like this. It's a nice little tabletop. Doesn't take up too much space, but seems very powerful. You know, nice big sound. I like little things with big sounds. Yes. Kent, you're looking a bit perplexed.
No.
Do you like this?
I think you get one of these, you have a whale of a time. It has my seal of approval.
Yeah, you'll see it. Hang on. Penguin of Death.
Well, I thought I'd get in on it.
Yeah, no.
Seeing as nobody wanted my opinion on the roads.
Oh, we did. No, yeah. Sorry. What do you think of the roads, by the way?
Yeah,
I agree with you.
Thank you.
Yeah, okay.
I knew you would.
Yeah. No. No. It sounds really interesting. I must admit.
Doesn't it?
I know. It's a little box again. It's like little box, but you know. If it's
in a world where we have 88-note controllers, this will sit nicely on the gap on your
that'll sit on the right of this.
Yeah,
that
you
will sit
there.
there.
Yeah, because at the moment I have a rolly block.
Okay.
But that's not the position to be playing a rolly block. Trust me.
Right.
So yeah, this would be great as another sound engine.
Yeah.
Do we have a ballpark figure of how much?
€799.
Okay.
Which is about $750, I guess, UK.
Mm-hmm.
But as Tom pointed out, if you go to the website, you can get a bit of a discount.
And if you don't pay VAT, or rather if you pay VAT and reclaim it, then it's even cheaper. I love this. I just loved how everything was changing in real time as he was playing it and switching between parts. I like this a lot. I do.
Yeah.
I like this a lot. It's very hands-on.
Yeah. Good work there, Tom, capturing that. Thank you for that. More from Tom in just a moment as well. But yeah, I like this a lot. I'm looking forward to having a play on the new one. I'm assuming they'll be at Super Booth. I just like something that's just nice and compact. Like, you know, I like big things, but I like little things too, if you know what I mean. And especially little things that sound big. That's why I like. That's why I love the MiniFreak, because it's a little thing, but it sounds massive.
Yeah, it was going into some interesting territories there during that.
And it's 4-part multi-timbral as well, which is really nice.
Mm.
So that bodes well for just like little mini compositions, or just stacking 4 sounds together and getting something that sounds even bigger. Yeah. I like that. I like that a lot.
Mm.
I was just trying to figure out what the connectivity at the back is. I haven't got a picture. It says here. Industrial grade pots, switches and connectors, dual core 16-bit fixed point DSP running a handcrafted assembly engine, MIDI in and out, external sync and a backlit display. Good little thing. I like that.
It is good.
Dare I say?
Thank you, Stephen.
MPE?
Yes, got MPE.
Yeah.
So I can just plug my Rise into it and go to bed.
Apparently.
Yeah.
Oh, that is so on the cards.
Yeah, MPE has been added since the last time it showed its face. 16 voices, originally 9, and now 4-part multi-timbral that supports MPE. So there you go.
Okay.
That's pretty cool.
Oh, Tom says no USB ports, so my information here is wrong. Yeah. Oh no, actually, no, I didn't say it had. It just said a mini in that. So no. What is that a thing? I suppose nowadays you'd expect everything to have a USB port.
My lighter hasn't. Well, it hasn't.
Don't be like that.
Well, no, it hasn't. Oh no, tell a lie. It hasn't got a USB-C point. It's got that micro USB.
Oh yeah, bloody micro.
Which is it.
Awful.
Don't like them.
I mentioned the Arturia MiniFreak just there because, as I said, I like big sounds in small packages.
Aye.
Funnily enough, they released a new one of these just the other day. The MiniFreak Stella. Can you see the keys? No, I can't either because they're all black. This is the MiniFreak Stella, so it's exactly the same internally. The only difference here is that if I can zoom in there, it's got that all the pretty stars and planets and rocket ships flying around, and they've given it black keys, all black keys. So if somebody says, "Oh, if you want to get a decent tune, just play the black keys," this is probably not the keyboard to do that on because you'll just be mashing the pad.
Well, you can't play a wrong note, can you?
Apparently, no.
Yeah, there we go.
Can't play a white one either.
You've got a Rolly, you put your training in.
Well, yeah. How do I get rid of? There we go. So this is the MiniFreak Stella. It was originally launched in 2022, the back end of that. It's a fantastic synth. I mean, I really love this. But all they've done here is they've just given it a new paint job. And if you have a MiniFreak or a MiniFreak V, which is the software version, which you'll get thrown in with this out of the box, there's also a new Stella sound pack that you can download from Arturia's website. So that's available for free if you're a MiniFreak owner. So there's nothing really too wonderfully special. In fact, there's nothing that wonderfully special about it. That Arturia don't seem to be really pushing this at all. It's not on their website yet even.
It's 6 voice, isn't it?
Yes, it's six voice polyphonic. But
with aftertouch.
With aftertouch and nice little MIDI, sort of like they're not mini keys, but they're MIDI keys, sort of a little bit larger. But they're very nice. It's a very nice key bed. But the one thing I like about this is these macros. You've got those two touch strips that where you would normally find the pitch bend and modulation wheel. And whilst they do both of those functions, they also function as macro controllers. So you can assign these different macros. And it's got this lovely little easy-to-use kind of matrix system there as well. And 21 different oscillator types, including Carplus Strong and all sorts of stuff, and analog
the super
filters.
unison mode now as well, haven't they?
Yeah, it's a very powerful little thing, and you can pick this up for there you go, $529 US, $515 UK, €589. The original is still available. It's a little cheaper because it's been out for a while. And of course, if you buy the hardware, you get the MiniFreak V software thrown in. But of course, you can buy that on its own if you don't want to have the hardware. But MiniFreak Stella is out now,
and it's not going out of fashion anytime soon, is it?
No. It's the Freak series of synthesizers, particularly the Micro Freak, which is this bizarre little thing, but it's so good. And it's got poly aftertouch on that capacitive keyboard. It's very good, very clever stuff. Let's do another one where our friend Tom was able to get some video footage. We'll show a little bit of that. Here we go. Let's do this. So this is another one like Fred's Manatee. We've seen this one knocking around for a little while now. This is the Kivak Instruments Wofi or Wofi. I don't really know what the correct pronunciation is, but it's a little sampling keyboard that initially kind of started out looking a little bit, odd, but seems to have been refined and is reportedly ready to go. The developer hopes to ship the first batch in about 6 weeks' time, which is rather good. They did a Kickstarter campaign. It's going to retail for €799. And let's see. We got some clips here. Let me find a piece where we can actually hear it.
If only we had something on samplers this week.
If only we did. Here we go. Here's some sounds from Tom's video. Thank you again, Tom from Synth Anatomy, for allowing us to share this. Here we go.
And I can show you this one. strings, and you can change the sample mode. To be very different regarding the sample mode. Or here. Or more subtle.
It's quite a funky looking thing, and it sounds pretty good as well. One of the things that it had on there, and I should have done my research pre-show properly, but I remember it had a button on it that said like buy or something, and I think the premise was that you could actually buy and download stuff online directly into the sampler unit itself, which I thought was an interesting, clever idea.
Yeah, if you go down to the bottom of the article, you'll see it's there. Just before one more, just below this. Here we go. There.
Oh yeah, there's a Wi-Fi button called Carts. That's it. Yeah, another called Cloud. So yeah, that's what we think that it's going to do. Maybe if Tom's in the chat, he can maybe confirm. That's interesting. Thank you for that little nugget, Tom. Fred from Fred's Lab is also the head developer of the Wofi.
Wow.
What a small world. What a small world indeed. Now, that's very interesting. So they're getting double bubble from us this week. Thoughts on this one? I mean, I kind of like the look of this. I remember when I saw this picture here with the slot, I thought, oh, is that where you put your credit card? When you buy, it's got a card reader built in. I don't know what that is, but again, this is... I think it's easy to write something like this off as just another one of those kind of hipster millennial oddities, but actually this sounds like a really creative tool. I kind of like what I'm seeing and hearing from this. Thoughts on this?
Ken, you didn't talk about roads, so after you.
Go
on.
That's enough.
Yeah, it again, not really my neck of the woods. No, it's not for me. I wouldn't have said, to be honest.
No.
I wasn't hearing anything that made my nurglers jump up and do a
You
sound.
need to listen to more of the video. You need to see more of
the video. We can't. Yeah,
that's what I mean. I mean, the audio on the video wasn't exactly, Abbey Road, but
it's a shot, isn't it? So
it was all over the shop, wasn't it? But it's almost like when he put his arm in front of the microphone, you just couldn't hear anything. So yeah, it's hard, it's really hard to say at this stage. I think I preferred the other one.
Oh right, yeah. Well, I mean, I'm sure Fred won't mind either way because he's head of development for both.
I think I prefer the other one. There's something about the other one I liked that spoke to me that one didn't.
Back around about the millennium, around
turn of the century,
around about 2000. My then boss, Dave Caulfield at Emu, was really pushing hard for Emu to come out with something which he described as my first sampler, using all the technology, but just to make sampling really easy and to make it something which anyone could pick up, start sampling, and get some really good results from. This is that times about 10. It's got some really interesting stuff it's doing with, it's got dedicated reverse sample buttons and looping buttons and play back and forth buttons, which was on, the Roland S770, that kind of stuff. It has granular, it gets into the whole granular field, and it has some really weird, they call it chaos. I'm not quite sure exactly what it's doing. But if you listen to the video down, it seems very clever. It's powered by batteries as well, if you want it to be. And it's got built-in speakers and a built-in mic, so you can start you just record, hello, 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 hello. It's really immediate. It does quite a lot. It hides quite a lot under the bonnet. I think it's a really cool thing. It's not for me, but it's the kind of thing I would buy for people wanting to get into something like this. To start, they go a long way with something like this.
Yeah, The people are asking about the specs. So it's 48K 16-bit, direct streaming from Flash, so there's no preloading, 10-voice polyphonic, Eurorack level compliant audio, memory, Flash embedded 100 megabytes, Flash cartridge memory 100 megabytes, up to 200 user patches and 50 presets. 100 megabytes will allow storing of around 18 minutes of audio, 16-step track sequencer for notes, 16 keys for parameter sequencing. It's got built-in DSP with lots of different effects such as bit crusher and time stretch and pitch shift and all that malarkey. Tom was saying that I think he's saying that the memory cards are about €10 each, so that's pretty reasonable. Check the video out for more information on the memory card thing, because we don't have time to go through that now.
It's got CV.
Loads of connectivity.
Is it CV in?
CV in,
out?
CV out, gate input, modulation output, MIDI in and out through DIN and USB, sync clock at start and stop, USB powered, embedded battery with about 4 hours of use per charge. As you say, built-in microphone, speaker, back up to cartridge, or you can back up to the cloud. Aluminium and wood body, retails for €799.
Pre-order price of 521.
Oh, is that cheap as that? Wow.
Yeah, that's just astonishing for what it is. It's a really, it looks deceptively simple. It's really, really good UE design.
It's taken a little while. And apparently the rechargeable battery can be replaced over time, as they obviously will start to wane. But yeah, this has been around for a couple of years or so now, and it's nice to actually see it, on the verge of being released into the wild. So that is the Wofi, or the Wofi keyboard sampler from Kivak Instruments. Go and check that out now. The website is quite simply kiviak-instruments.com. Right, we've got a couple of we've got about half an hour left.
Half an hour left.
Let's see what we have here. We've done that.
Do we have any sort of sound banks or anything?
We do. I was just about to play this lovely little demo from our very good friend, Mr. Mark Barnes. Here we go. He's got a brand new bank out for called Modwave. This is Volume 4. He starts with the bagpipes. Very nice. Very nice. There's a good 25 minutes there of demonstrations of pretty much every preset that's available in that pack. It's from our great friend Mr. Mark Barnes, and you can grab that pack, which will work on your hardware Modwave and also your Modwave native plugin. $6.99. I mean, come on.
Go and buy it. Jesus.
Yeah. 32 dual layer custom performances and 63 custom programs with all sorts of things being covered, including chaos modulations and everything. So
and happy
$6.99.
birthday, by the way, Mark.
Oh yeah, the other day wasn't it his birthday?
Yeah, happy birthday.
And Cheryl, no, actually, it was Cheryl's birthday, wasn't it as well? Recently, his wife.
Was it?
Yeah, his long-suffering and lovely wife. Yeah. That price is an introductory price until May 14th, when it goes up to a whopping $8.99, which is still
his
incredible.
sounds are just so good.
He's rather good, isn't he? And of course, he's donated some stuff to our Patreon page.
Yeah.
So if you want to experience some of Mark's sounds, of course, you can come and join us on Patreon, patreon.com/ProSynth Network, and you'll be able to download that and a whole bunch of other cool stuff as well. Kent, do you still have your Modwave?
I do.
And will you be purchasing these to go in that?
I was just at the website now. Sorry.
Sorry to interrupt your purchase there.
Yeah, I do beg your pardon.
I've actually been kind of playing around with, because I've got the Modwave Native plugin, and I'm actually finding it very nice. It's a little. The one thing I don't like about it is the way that if you want to import sounds into it, it's a pretty convoluted process. Because if somebody supplies you with samples and multi-samples for the Modwave, you've got to compile those into a bank using one application, and then you save it out as a particular file, and then you open up the other application and load it in. And it's a little bit of a ball ache, as they say. But the results are very good. I think I like the Wave State, but I think I prefer this out of all those Korg instruments. Although the Op6 is nice, but yeah. So there we go. Well, Kent's going to be buying this. You can report back on those later.
Yes, absolutely. And I'm sure I'll have far more luck downloading them than anything else I tried to do today.
Yes, we'll come to that. We will come to that. I think we'll come to that next. Andy, do you use the Modwave? You have got the software or the hardware? Or?
Do you know, I don't. It was never really on my radar, but everyone's been banging on about how brilliant it is, and lots and lots of, there's all these banks from. Do you know, I think I've just got to bite the bullet and get one, because it just, it's one of those things. It sounds like it's going to be a good thing to have, and with someone like Mark, you two both own them, don't you? So
yeah,
I feel silly not having one. If only I hadn't spent all my money on a something, a Kickstarter last year that I'm still bloody waiting for. But apart from that, all good.
There you go.
All good.
Anyway, and because there's a Mark II Modwave now, isn't there? And there's also the
what's the difference?
Rack version. Was it the Modwave? I might be wrong. I know they Mark II'd certainly the Op6, because basically they couldn't get hold of the Raspberry Pi that they were using. They had to get the next one up, and that gave them some additional bits and bobs to play.
Yeah, there is a Modwave. It is the Mark II. Yeah, it is.
And it's also available now in a proper rack mountable or
60
desktop.
voices of polyphony. That's what it was.
That's it.
So
they were able to increase it. Yeah. No, it's a very nice synth, very nice sound. And
I always like the wavetable stuff Korg did. It's always been good. So, yeah.
Indeed. So, markbarnessounds.com. That's Mark with a C, not with a K. markbarnessounds.com, and you can get that and a whole bunch of other stuff that he does at, again, stupidly throwaway prices. You get a lot for your money there. Nice work, Mark. Thank you very much. And, of course, Mark's content also appears on our Patreon channel. So, yes, there was something else that was finally, officially released today. Well, let's just play the video whilst I prepare the number of pages that I have open to enable our discussion for the last 25 minutes of this show, which I think we will fill very easily.
So over here at Behringer, we love our analog synthesis, and there's still plenty more to come in that regard. But analog modelling has come on leaps and bounds in the last few years, so we didn't want to leave all you great DAW musicians out in the cold. Let's see if we can give a bit of warmth to digital. It's the Behringer Vintage. So Vintage is the first release of our forthcoming digital suite of instruments, and it's based on meticulous modelling of some very old and dusty vintage synthesizers.
I'm going to stop it there because it goes on for about 5 or 6 minutes, but they keep saying it's based on vintage modelling of old, so they don't say what. They then say that the people behind the development of this are behind many brilliant synthesizer plugins. Again, they don't say which, but they say French and Japanese. Well, there's only one real big French manufacturer of software plugins, so that kind of speaks for itself. And they refer to this guy whose name is Stefano D'Angelo. He's an Italian chap, and he used to work about 10 years ago, maybe a little bit less, for Arturia. Doesn't anymore, but apparently freelances for them. So the story is, I'm sure most of you already know, that a few weeks ago this appeared on the Behringer website. Everyone lost their collective doodah. I say everyone. Lots of people lost their collective doodah. They went to download it. The servers crashed. Some people could download the synth. Some people couldn't. Pretty much everyone couldn't get the license code for it, because even though it's free, you got to go and register with the Music Tribe website, and that gets you your license code. You say it was free, you don't have to pay for it, but they encourage a donation to the music charity foundation that they have worked with closely in the past. And yeah, it all just kind of went to poop, as they say, because it got pulled a few hours later, and everyone was saying either this thing doesn't sound very good at all, or I couldn't get this thing, so I can't tell you how good or bad it sounds, or I couldn't get the license code, so I've got the application, but it's absolutely useless to me. And now all the servers have been taken down, and Behringer came out a day or so later and said that it had been leaked. Now, it's quite rare for the manufacturer to leak its own product.
And its own website.
And it's on its own website with all the gubbins going on. Was it a genuine mistake? Did somebody press the go button too soon, which is what they claim? I don't know, and we'll I guess we'll never know the truth. But today, with not much of a fanfare, it was officially released and announced, and you can go to the Behringer website. And there it is. There's the page, and it's a very nice looking web page. And there's these 3D renders, which some software developers do. But what most software developers don't do is then Photoshop pictures of people in the studio with a hardware version of said synthesizer. So there it is. You can just see it just over there on the left hand side. If you scroll down, you'll see somebody playing one live, and if you zoom in, you'll see it actually says vintage there in the corner there. So they've gone to great lengths to produce what are, there you go. Oh, look, he's actually playing one. Now, some people have been saying, oh, it's going to be a hardware synthesizer. But can you imagine, a hardware synthesizer with a screen that big produced by Behringer? I don't think so. I mean, yeah, that's got to be a render, hasn't it? He says, I don't know. But anyway, so there we go. Nice, pretty website. And then we had Patrick's official video, so we think everything must be well. Well, when this first dropped, I was fortunate, or maybe in some people's eyes unfortunate, to be able to not only download it, but also get the license. So I was kind of able to play this a few weeks ago with a select few other people, it seems. And I wasn't impressed. So when I was told that it had got leaked a bit early, I thought, okay, we'll cut them some slack. Maybe it doesn't sound good because it isn't finished, or they hadn't uploaded the decent presets. How wrong I was, because I've downloaded the new version today, and thankfully my license key is intact, so it works for me. And I have to say that I am distinctly underwhelmed by the sound. So presets on a synthesizer, whether you use them in your music or not, the one thing they absolutely always should be is a showcase for what the synthesizer is capable of. So you should be able to go to the first preset and go, wow, that, and it'll make you go to the next preset and go, oh, that's really good. And maybe the first 10, 20 presets have got to be like, kick you in the balls brilliant. These are nothing like that at all. It's shockingly bad. Somebody said, it's modelled on vintage synthesizers of the 90s. I think, Andrew, you said, the 1890s. But it does sound like it's modelled on VSTs from the 90s.
That's what it is. It sounds like VSTs that were around in the very first VSTs.
There's a good reason for that.
Well,
hang on. I downloaded this the first time, and I got the license the first time round, and I hated it so much I just deleted it off the system. So when it launched again today, I thought, I'll do that. Of course, my license doesn't work, because I did. So I went to download the license again. Kent, myself, and the rest of the world have spent all day trying occasionally 14, 15 times to get that, and no.
I started this. I thought I'll try and get the license again. This screen has been like this for about 8 hours. I know I can't prove that to you, but I have had this screen up for 8 hours. This is what you get when you click on the Get License link.
Did you refresh it?
I've refreshed it a few times, and it either goes, it either came back to this, or it went to a 404 and just said sorry, this page, and then it came back again. But it's never gone beyond this. And so I was too busy to do stuff, so I just I thought I'll leave it here, and maybe by the time we come on air. But if it isn't, then there you go, and that's where it sits.
Well, it's just letting me sign up,
right?
And it goes, "Oh, congratulations on signing up," and I go, "So where's the license?"
Oh, you have to register.
Nothing. Grey screen. Well, that's what this is.
No. You sign up for an account with Music Tribe, then you download the software. When you try to launch the software, which you can do, it says you can't do this without registering for a key. You need a license key for this.
You can download the software from the website straight away. That's not a problem.
But you can't get the license key.
No, you have to click on the register button when you fire it up for the first time. Although it doesn't come up automatically, and you're there pushing keys going, "There's no sound. Why doesn't it work?" And you have to read the tiny, tiny little red writing right down the corner saying, "Oh, you've got to click on the register button." Oh, okay. Yeah. But the thing is, right? What's his mush? Stefano.
Yes.
Stefano.
Right. Well, the company that he started with his mate. If you look at that company, it's not a music company as such. It's not what you call a musical company even. Now you see Brickworks. That's what this is built with.
Yeah.
It's preset algorithms.
So it's basically Lego.
Yeah, this took about 2 weeks to make. No, I'm not shitting you. And it's the reason why it sounds like an old VSTi is because it's made from essentially digital Lego. Right, so you're given a kit of preconceived algorithms. You throw them into your GUI, you mix and mess around with the code a little, and buzz you onto you've made your own VSTi. And that's what this is. But the reason Behringer have done that, I think personally, is it's the world's most genius move at email harvesting I've ever come across. And they've now got a massive list of emails that they can sales target when the suite comes out of instruments. Because I tell you, this, the guy that coded, the guy that made Brickworks and that, he made CS80V version 4. He made CS80V for Arturia.
He was part of the team, allegedly.
Yeah, but it's one of his babies. So was the Mini. Right. So those sort of instruments. Now, when you go to if you've got the Arturia suite and you listen to those plugins, they're made from the ground up.
Yes.
Right. This is kind of already there, and then you just poke at things a little. See,
when I was doing some research during my lunch break, I came across this website and I thought, okay, well, let's see. Oh yeah, okay. So he's been involved with Arturia, and he says here he was employed by them for about just over 2 years.
Yeah.
And now he freelances for them. So I thought, well, I'll go and check out the list of developers on each of these. And yes, his name appears on Acid V. Doesn't appear on the Korg MS-20. Does appear on the CS-80. And I think it appears on the... Yeah, but it wasn't everywhere. And obviously he's one of a large number of people that were developing on these. So I'm not trying to say he didn't or he's lying. I'm not saying that at all. And I was wondering, given that he was employed with them, started their employment just under 10 years ago, that maybe the only reason his name still appears on stuff is that maybe they're just using some code that he had some involvement with, and therefore he has to get a credit in there, or whether he's actually freelancing on these individual things. I honestly don't know, and I don't really care. But I think what you're saying is right, Kent, that I think what Behringer have done is they've probably used this tool, and then they're kind of trading off of the fact that the guy who developed the tool worked on other things, but he's maybe not probably worked on this. Because if this is the guy who worked on something like the CS80V, which is a very good plugin, in fact, all of these are very good plugins.
Yeah.
This is a massive step down in terms of quality.
That's what I mean. In the advert, but they did say, they employed and they had the association with him. I think it's only in terms of that Behringer used his development software.
Yeah.
That he created. That is, and anybody can
the fact
download
is
and use.
We don't know. We don't know any of this. This is all speculation.
No, it's all speculation.
Oh God, yeah,
however, absolutely, yeah. All this for the legal team. This is all allegedly.
This is conspiracy theory 101.
Yeah.
However, the plugin sounds awful, and now you can't get it, and an awful lot of people have been trying. I think email harvesting is almost certainly something that will have happened. Whether or not deliberately or otherwise, we shall never know.
Yeah.
Well, I think, to be honest, I think it's part of any companies. Any companies, there are lots of people that give away free plugins, whether they're software or effects, and all you've got to do is sign up to their account. So let's not say that Behringer are doing that exclusively, because everyone does it, and it's I think in 2024 we have all accepted the fact that that's how you get some cool free stuff, is that you hand over your email address. So that I don't think is anything surprising or different. But it does sound like, the more you think about it, that as Kent says, this Stefano D'Angelo has come up with a framework, and Behringer have got this framework and said, okay, this is a quick way of assembling something, and they've assembled something, and then they're kind of using his name and his reputation to trade off of, when I don't necessarily know whether he was actually behind the development of this particular synthesizer.
I think what the most interesting thing in the advert was, and or on the downloaded instrument when you first boot it up, is the phrase digital suite. So clearly what that would seem to indicate is they have plans for a raft of these things. And there's all sorts of conspiracy. There's all sorts of rumours flying around tinterwebs at the moment about what that might mean, and some people say they know for certain and some people say they don't. But there's a lot of speculation. We won't know, but it would seem to be an obvious move. The only thing about it is, if they decide to go into the plug-in market properly, which they could, it'll be the first time they've competed on a level playing field with everyone else. They're going to have to compete. They're going to have to turn stuff out. There's some very good players out there. They're going to have a lot more difficulty competing in the plug-in field than they are.
Yeah, and
in the hardware
because
field,
it's difficult to buy a plug-in and reverse engineer it. I'm not saying it's impossible. I don't really know, but I imagine that it's a lot more difficult to buy V Collection and then sit there and pick the code apart and copy it. And it's probably a lot more difficult to copy that stuff than it is to go out and buy a synthesizer. And as we know, they've plagiarized a lot of stuff, some of it more blatant than others. And as you say, this is a lot more of an even playing field. And to be quite frank, in 2024, to come out with a synthesizer, look, I desperately wanted this to be good. I really did.
Curiously, so do I.
Yeah,
so did I. I thought this. I hope this is good.
It's not like we're missing free synthesizers, because there are a gazillion free plug-in synthesizers and effects out there, and some of them are utterly incredible for the fact that you don't have to pay any money for them. So, the bar is high, and unfortunately, Behringer don't seem to. So one of our members, actually, the guy that's going to be doing the Kraftwerk show at Synthesized, Mark Jenkins, has actually produced a bank of 100 patches. He was able to get this when it kind of leaked back then, and he built 100 patches. And I thought, okay, maybe Behringer's sound designers maybe aren't all they're cracked up to be, whatever. Let's try somebody who clearly knows how to program synthesizers. Let's hear what his sounds are like. So I thought, okay, how do I import these sounds? And you go to the instructions from Behringer. There is nothing to say how do you import other people's banks. Luckily, Mark supplied some basic instructions, and if you go to the patch browser in this Vintage plugin and you click on it, it then has an option for you to reveal the folder where you put your user presets. So you're supposed to click on that, and the window's supposed to appear, and then you just drop in your presets into that folder, and then I think you restart the plugin and it finds them and they're there. So I clicked on that and it did nothing. Nothing opened. And I thought, I'm clicking, no. I thought, oh, maybe it's a bad install. So I uninstalled it, and I did that. It doesn't come with its own uninstall program. I used a third-party application that I know and trust that not only uninstalls the app, but all the other things that it puts in other places. And there was only about 3 of those, so it took all of those out. I manually deleted the actual plugin files from the plugin folders, so that it was all gone. Reinstalled it, no change. It was still exactly the same. Spoke to Mark, and Mark said, well, it works on mine, but he's using a Windows computer and I'm using a Mac. So my next thought was, maybe Mac security, it doesn't like applications being able to go into certain folders, so I need to give it some permissions. So I made sure that the application got full disk access and files and folder access permissions. Still nothing, not a sausage. So I eventually found the folder in the shared library on my Mac, where the folder, where that says presets, and I dropped them in there. Still nothing. So I can't try these third-party presets just to see if it's just a case of great synthesizer, bad presets, because the UI looks kind of nice, even though that looked ripped off from Tone 2's Saurus plugin. But it looks fairly nice and clear, and I really wanted it to be nice. I really wanted it to be good, but I'm sorry, it just isn't. And I'm disappointed, but I'm not entirely unsurprised.
As ACO Head says, and in the meantime, Behringer gets free 30 minutes of advertising.
This is true, but we're here to serve the
we were talking previously about the TO5, and I mentioned then that there is an alternative from Behringer which is cheaper, which some people may want to go and investigate instead at that price. But there are all sorts of arguments for and against. This isn't about bashing. I think we're kind of beyond the bashing Behringer bit. That we know what they are, we know what they do. They're hugely popular. Fine, good, whatever. But this just sounds pants, and it doesn't work. That's where it is. And we've got other manufacturers, other developers of software who do a cracking job, and they're going to go up against those.
Exactly.
Really, really interested to see. In fact, who was it? Someone just posted.
I don't think any developer is going to be quaking in their boots.
Which they could have been. Mike, bless him.
Well, yeah, exactly. Most people will be happy to pay $49 for something that sounds incredible. Tom actually has just pointed out that the features on Vintage are almost 100% identical to the Ableton analog synth that comes with Live. And in fact, That was one thing I discovered when I ran it for the first time, is that if you go into, there's a function, and the reason it stood out a mile was because it was around the time that I got the Arturia Astrolab, and in Analog Lab and on Astrolab you have these 4 knobs: brightness, timbre, time, and something else. Those knobs are literally word for word in the Behringer plugin, so they've pinched that as well. It's like they can't help themselves. They don't do themselves any favors, should I say? But yeah,
I loved that they put it up on the site saying it's $99, but we're giving you 99 what? No.
I'll be honest with you, the Behringer forum was much more fun to read.
Was it?
Well, I needed something to do while I waited for the website to load. So, and it was quite funny because there was lots and lots of people complaining about it. Go, I can't get it, and all the rest of it. And then they started the whole, what do you expect from Behringer? And then there was this one guy at the bottom, and he says, he goes, knock Behringer for doing the dreadful thing of being able to give people with no money the option of having this stuff in the first place, which I've heard quite a few times, and up to a point I can understand that. However, I nearly put no, don't, Kent, because I was tempted to put yes, but the difference is one person is offering you duck à l'orange and the other person is offering you a dog shit. Just because it's cheaper and you can afford it doesn't mean you want to eat it.
So to be fair as well, the other side of this is that I don't know if it's for, I think it's for this, but I'll need to go back on the website, which I will just rather kill myself at the moment than that. However, what they're saying is once they start selling these properly, then once you can get it, if you make a donation, you're able to donate in this synth, and you're able to donate to a charity called Music for Life or something like that.
Yes, it's a foundation.
Play for Life, isn't it?
Which Play for Life, which isn't at all trying to, anyway. So, but they've said that they will match any donation.
Playing for Change Foundation, yeah. They'll match donations up to $1 million.
Up to $1 million.
So if there's one good thing that does come out of this is that they might raise some money for people and get them involved in music. And, I hate to be the one to say it, but let's hope that is accurate and that they are, they're able to show that. But, people that say, "Oh well, you're knocking them and they're giving you something free," there are many, many other people out there that are giving you stuff, but they're not. Again, it's not free because
they're not giving it to us.
Well, there's that, But even when they do, they're taking data from you. But there are companies, there are individuals like the guy behind Full Bucket Music, who has an absolute ton of amazingly good free plugins, instruments, effects, and he doesn't ask for your email. He just asks if you can press that donate button and send him a few quid for a beer. That's it. So if we're going, in the League of Altruism,
and they are good plugins.
And the League of Altruism, Behringer at the moment are down there with the rest of them that want something in exchange for a free instrument. So, I really wanted this to be good. I thought, oh, come on, let's do this. Let's have a really nice free plugin, all for that. And
I expected this to sound like the DeepMind 12. That's what I expected.
That's all they had to do. That's all they had to do. Why they didn't do that? Why they didn't just make a DeepMind plugin? Call it the DeepMind. Maybe the reason why is they couldn't make it sound like it because this isn't the right tool. Yeah. As Chris says, GarageBand is amazing and it's free. If you have an Apple computer, it's not about
it being free.
Yeah.
It's about it being shit.
That's the thing.
If it works at all, if you can actually get code. It's just odd. Software is a lot harder to do, it would seem. these days. There are some very, very clever people out there, like our friends at Cherry, GeForce, Arturia. All of these guys have been doing this for a long time and have dedicated teams that have got to understand this, the physical modelling of circuitry. This is not physical modelling of circuitry. It's a sort of, like that. Wow, that'll do.
Synth by numbers. I mean, not Asia Head. Kosh Takai is saying that it took him less than 5 minutes to sign up to playing it. He's not sure why everyone's complaining with the issue. Well, if you go online, you'll soon find there is a lot of people that still can't get this for one reason or another. And you know, I have no idea why that is. Whether Behringer have exclusively blocked people who've maybe said nasty things about that's rubbish. Yeah,
I just think they didn't. I think, in common with lots of people that aren't used to plugins and stuff, I don't think they expected the surge of interest in the numbers. I think it's just crashed the site.
Oh, for fuck's sake, you've got to type it in yourself. Jesus.
So here I'm still here at this, and I've refreshed this a few times whilst we've been talking, and that's all I get. And I've cleared my browser cache. I've tried all the obvious things, and that is all that you get. And I can't even log into, because I've already got a Music Tribe account, so I've got a license, but it just won't even let me get there. So it's weird, but it's disappointing, but also not very surprising, which is a shame. But there you go. And that, gentlemen, has taken us over the hour mark.
Over the hour.
And so, yeah, we're now on double time.
Registration incomplete. Okay.
I'll try VPN as soon as we come off air, because I don't want to, mess up the stream. But yeah, I'll try the VPN.
Someone's just come up with the answer. Here we go. Where are we?
Turn it off and go home.
No.
Try pretending to be Kosh. Yeah, guess your login, Kosh.
Kosh.
Well, I got my license thing.
Oh, you did?
Yeah, and it doesn't recognise it. There you go.
I don't know.
So much
anyway,
better off than I was.
Let's decompress. I hope they get it sorted. I hope that I'm able to try other people's presets and have somebody show me, actually, what, this synth is actually quite good. It's just that the presets came with it aren't that great, because they don't inspire me. I didn't have the time to mess around and try and build something myself.
And that's a salutary lesson for everyone. Yeah, make sure the presets, the first 10, 20, make sure they're rocking.
If you hate presets, doesn't matter. Presets are a showcase for an instrument. It gives you an idea of what you can achieve. Exactly.
Yeah.
So I don't know, odd stuff. Anyway, that's enough of that. We'll try, and I'll let you know if I am able to get in there, and whatever. Anyway, thank you, gentlemen. We should be back same time, same place next week with another couple of hours of this rubbish. Thank you to everyone that's watched throughout the show. Thanks to everyone that's been watching on catch up. Hello, what's it like in the future? Did you get your Behringer synth? Let us know in the comments. That would be fantastic. Let us know what you think of it. Let us know if we think we're talking rubbish.
Are flying cars a thing yet?
Indeed, hoverboards.
Flying cars.
Don't forget, tomorrow morning, 10 a.m, Andy, a.k.a. Synchrotron, will be doing, I believe, his live stream, which Kent and I both like kind of chilling out to. I like doing my little Saturday morning work.
I've registered it.
Oh, there you go. Now prepare to be disappointed.
That wasn't it. Sorry.
Oh, okay. Anyway, yes, 10 o'clock tomorrow morning, UK time, Synchrotron stream, where he regales you with lots of kind of droney sounds and wonderful guitar playing on top of it. I keep meaning to ask him if he's got an EBO, because I think that would go really well with a lot of the stuff that he does on the synths.
Love an EBO, man.
Yeah. But anyway, 10 a.m. for that. Then you've got Ramsey at 2 p.m. UK time. Now, he's in his Discord channel today said, be prepared, big show. Oh. So I don't know what that means, but it's intriguing. So I'm going to be there to see what that's all about. And then, of course, Jamie, unfortunately, is not doing his stream on Sundays anymore. If Jamie's watching, get well soon. I know you said your ears are getting slightly better. Oh, he does have an EBO. Excellent. Well, use it tomorrow and give me credit.
Use the EBO.
Use the EBO.
Get Submarine.
So I don't think there's anything on Sunday evenings, unless somebody else wants to jump in there and do something.
Ken?
Who else? Ken,
Darling?
you probably do pub tomorrow, are you? Or?
Yes.
Yeah.
And I will be playing my Behringer Vintage.
Excellent.
I got it working. This is preset 1. You ready?
Yeah.
Oh, shut up. Hang on.
That's not preset 1.
That's not preset 1. Hang on. Let's turn off the other tracks that are getting involved. Is that all of it? Yeah. There. Okay.
The sound, yeah, there's just something about the sound. It's just...
It does
anyway.
have a Welcome to 2005, doesn't it?
Indeed.
Vibe to it.
Yeah, so lots of things to enjoy over the weekend, synth-wise. Say, join us again, same time, same place, next week. I don't know if we've got anyone on, because we're getting closer to Super Booth, and people are becoming less and less available, and because they're busy doing other things. We did put a post up on our Facebook group that if you are going to Super Booth, let us know in there, because it would be great to maybe sort of meet up and say hi, or just even in passing. So just say yay or nay, and what area you're staying in, so that if we can organise some sort of get together, that would be cool. Anyway, thank you, gentlemen. I will see you next week, if not
I like
before.
the way it's got a Prophet 5 heatsink on the back.
I know, I did notice that.
Excellent.
Oh, Ken Pierce won't be there. I was looking forward to hopefully seeing Ken, but never mind. So thanks ever so much. Thanks for watching. Thanks for your donations, everyone. Don't forget, you can, of course, subscribe to us at patreon.com/ProSynth Network. There's freebies there for you to have. More on their way, which is all good. And then, next week we might be able to talk about a little bit more about this, which and we've got maybe some special news about if you want to acquire one of those. And we've also got that Kawaii thing that we need to sort out. We'll
get to that. We'll get to
it's
all of that.
Busy.
I've asked Tiny if he will come onto the show.
Oh, that'd be good.
And
that'd
I want him to regale us with stories, like
Indeed.
where the Who, him and the Who, were trying to get a set of knickers onto a goat in the toilets at Wembley. So.
My first question is, what's a goat doing at Wembley? I'm not at all surprised about the Who.
They brought the goat.
They brought the goat.
Yeah.
Was it on the rider?
I don't know. I think it just ended up on the coach with them, and they just thought, right, the goats are the latest groupie.
Indeed. Before we do go, thank you again to Tom at synthanatomy.com. Go and check out his YouTube channel. Thanks for letting us show the videos. There's more coming, he tells me. He's editing them all as we speak and getting them up onto his channel. And also check out synthanatomy.com, because, as I said, he's one of these news sites. He does it all on his own. He's a one-man show, and he does a brilliant job for that. So go and give Tom some support over at his website, over his YouTube channel. Thank you again, Tom, for letting us show the videos. And that's about it from us. We will see you again, as I keep saying, same time, same place next week. Have fun. Have a great weekend. Stay safe. See you all soon. And have fun. Bye.